Soul Garden.
Hello my heroes, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Update from my webcam to yours. I'm Christopher Witecki, your host to the universe. I'm also the co-host of SoulGarden.me and this year's first annual Miss Lilith Catwalk Costume Contest. Now what's Miss Lilith? Actually I should say Ms. Lilith. Lilith is a real long mythology actually, if you know. Allegedly the first wife before Eve with Adam, but also an asteroid in astrology, and wherever Lilith lands, there's actually several pieces of Lilith, but where Lilith lands is allegedly where you have some rage, where Lilith lands. And so we're going to allow everyone to dress up as their inner Lilith and interpret as they want. If you need help interpreting it, come on down in office hours. We will chat up Lilith. We will look up your Lilith in your chart for you. That's part of the fun. This is a great way to kind of explore yourself and express yourself. And so we say, may the best Lilith win. Now, for those of you who think that Lilith contest is kind of sexist, I want you to know I'll be co-hosting the event shirtless on Halloween. So there you go. May the best Lilith win. Now we are in a pickle. We're going to transition between two major lessons this week. This is technically where things change for, or will determine where you end up December 21st, 2012. When I say where you end up, I mean, will you be on the team of light or the team of fright? Now, we've all been in the team of fright, so no judgment to those who are on the team of fright. It just means you're not out of fright. But for the rest of us, we really want to end that crap. And we are ending it first by graduating Saturn in Libra, a 3-year transit where for Aries, you've been working on trying to get your marriages in order. Starting with your marriage, moving to your concepts of balance, and up to how you unite yourself, who you unite with, etc. And in some cases, will Aries go the distance? A lot of Aries give out and don't try to follow through. But whatever your story is, it actually ends this week with marriage, and we begin a new transit that is about personal boundaries. But first, let's wrap up. As we overlap on Sunday, it's sunny and career-driven. The moon is in Capricorn. Emotions have got your passion for legacy, decisions, etc. That includes parenting. Children are part of our legacy that we leave behind on the planet, so all part of that. So on Sunday, you're kind of wrapping that up. One of the things I definitely want to point out about Sunday is that the sun is now conjuncting Saturn, which means as we bridge and end this 3-year lesson on marriages, you are immediately beginning a 3-year lesson on trust, intimacy, and boundaries. And on Sunday, part of you holding space for the right marriage and partnership and right balance in your life is that you begin to draw boundaries for yourself, thereby creating trust in yourself that you may have not had before. So I just want to point that out as something that's causing trouble on this first day. On Monday, we are tested. It's the 29th degree, the tested degree. Partly sunny, but social, I think. The moon is in Aquarius, and so your emotions are social now, and you're focused on reputation, context, your peeps, your customers, that sort of thing. But you are also being tested to maintain that balance and order inside yourself. It's the final day, and if one thing may push you, it is frankly your own emotions. So managing your emotions is what's important and vital. The Pluto Libra generation is officially graduating at this particular 29th degree, so congratulations to the Pluto Librans for staying alive, because Pluto means change or die, so you lived, you graduated if you're alive to some degree. And as you can see, Saturn is now 2 degrees, and so we're already chugging way ahead in the next lesson, which is you drawing emotional boundaries to protect yourself. And we'll talk about that here in just a couple days when we go to 0 degrees. Then on Tuesday, well, actually one day, we're at 0 degrees, and 0 means 0. We're in the no man's land between two states of awareness. Pluto rules the day, which means it's time to officially let the last 3 years die. For Pluto Libra generation, let your whole lifetime's baggage go. You want to use this 0 vibration to let things go. Sometimes people want to give up or even talk suicide during a 0 degree. No, that energy is there to kill off the bad parts, not everything. So let it kill off the bad parts, and that's what it's about on the 0 degree. We are in 2 states of awareness. So on this cloudy day, your emotions are social and your focus social. And the sun is in that no man's land, but conjuncting Saturn. So there might be a serious tone to this particular 0 degree that we haven't felt before. Now looking at the map, Scorpio is I protect. That's what Scorpio is about. If you know a Scorpio, that's all they do is protect stuff. All right, protect the truth, protect the innocent, protect their own interests. That's what Scorpio does, protect. And for you, I protect is a purebred. Like everything, when you're an Aries, you're a purebred with the universe. So you use Scorpio energy to do what Scorpio does best. Protect. Now, the first 10 days of I Protect is self-trust. This is also the first 9 months of Saturn, self-trust. In other words, where are you lying to yourself? Where are there false boundaries with yourself? Where do you need to put boundaries in with yourself? Self-trust and how you boundary yourself, stopping yourself from drinking too much, stopping yourself from doing something you know you shouldn't do. Those are boundary issues most of the time. Sometimes they're failed to enforce, but you're an Aries, you enforce everything, sometimes too soon. So I think it's actually a boundary issue if that's the case. And boundary is the more sophisticated part of it, where we maintain your overall boundary policies, who you let in, trust, intimacy, and this is the beginning of alchemy, and intimacy and alchemy is the final chapter, the ability to morph yourself because you're such a master of the boundaries, right? So we come back on Wednesday, shifting into the Scorpio vibration. It is the only day of the transit that the sun rules the day, so it is an I love day, and really what you're kind of assessing on Wednesday is how well protected you feel. Do you feel vulnerable? Do you feel naked to the world? Do you feel vulnerable with your relationships? Because now that you know what a marriage is, the next stage is how to handle them, right? To get deeper if you're in the right one, and to get out if you're in the wrong one. And that getting in, getting deeper, that's actually a boundary issue, not a policy of marriage and balance. And so today you're really assessing. The moon moves into your subconscious at some point in the day. For those watched over by GA, we'll text you when that happens. But there'll be a vulnerability part, and then there'll be just a cloudy part. And that's when emotions go into the subconscious here during the day. That's where this is over here. Okay. Somebody doesn't think of the keys. Then on Thursday, it's a moon rule day, and there's a good chance of anxiety. If there's ever a day to kind of worry or the sky is falling, this might be the day. And there's a reason why this might be the day. And I want to point out something that's super important. The sun is dead conjuncting Saturn on this day. Now, this is very quietly the beginning of a 3-year transit. As the sun conjuncts Saturn, you are deciding how you feel. And you may not be aware of this, especially if you don't watch Soul Garden, but when you decide how you feel, you're technically calibrating Saturn as the baseline of the lesson. So if you feel uber vulnerable, this is where you will start your lesson of trust and intimacy. If you feel super, super safe, maybe too safe, this is where you'll start the lesson. You can't fake this one, but what you can do if you watch this and know about it is you can honor truth. So on this day, honor the truth. Honor the absolute truth. Don't let yourself fall into fear. Don't let yourself fall into overconfidence. Let the sun conjuncting Saturn kind of crystallize where you're starting with this trust intimacy boundary, which is the truth. And if you can't be honest, that's probably what the trust intimacy boundary is going to be about. Then on Friday things perk up. The moon actually is going to shift into Aries at some part of the day. There might be a test of faith waking up and going into the day, depending on where you live on the earth. I'm saying sunny and content. And Jupiter rules the day, which means it's time to explore your options. And when I say explore your options, I mean with self-trust. If you found out in the last 3 days you can't trust yourself with a bottle of liquor, let's explore your options. If you found that you can't trust any man under the sun, let's explore your options. If you can't trust yourself, let's explore your options. If you overly trust and you always get hurt, let's explore why. So obviously Friday is an exploration day. With the planets, the moon, as it does move into Aries, here's the kicker. On the one side, you feel stronger. On the other, you will have to have some moment in the next 24 hours where the moon crosses Uranus, and that means you'll have to have an innovation of your emotional ego response. Uranus is harboring around your ego and will for years, but as the moon crosses, emotions and ego come together. How you respond is the lesson. So be careful before you respond. Try to think before you respond at the end of the day. On Saturday, our first thunderstorm of the season. This is the first breakdown. This is where you will see that decision 2 days ago with Saturn already manifesting. Uranus means that there is a breakdown, and the breakdown will be in a trust issue. I'm sure we all have something to learn, so you will discover probably in this breakdown where you thought you could trust and you can't, or where you're over trusting or whatever. It's just really determining what house is built out of straw and what house is built out of stick. Now, here's the thing. The moon is in Aries and your emotions are empowered, and so there's a chance of your emotions going too far. There's a chance of overreacting, so be cautious to that. I'll be sending out Witecki to everyone in the GA network. And there's a number of weird planet stuff going on just to push it over the edge. On the one hand, this opposition between Mars in Sag and Jupiter retrograde in Gemini. Now for you, this means a conflict between your beliefs and your thoughts. And Mars is really pushing hard on your beliefs. So in some ways, you're a totalitarian right now about what you believe or what you must get out there, what you must pursue. And actually, if there's going to be a winner in the contest, your mind should really be the part that shuts up. Jupiter is retrograde. You have a lot to learn when it comes to upgrading your thoughts to handle your future. Okay, that's what it is. You've outgrown your mind. Every Aries has outgrown their mind. And so you're halfway between a mind upgrade. And if you have a conflict here, I would go with the beliefs and make the mind obey. But that's not just it. Let's not forget the moon crossed Uranus somewhere in this last 24 hours. If you didn't have this ego upgrade, you will on this day. So there's a lot of breakdown. At the end of the day, whatever does break down, it's representing to you what's going to have to be the work this transit. And when I say transit, I mean this month with boundaries and the next 3 years with boundaries. That's how Saturn works. Then on Sunday, the sun comes out to play, sunny and cool. The moon is in your sign, and finally, the universe isn't screwing with you. And Mercury rules the day, making us all very sharp and quick-witted. So for you, this is a great day to kind of get to the bottom of where was the security breach, or why is it that we have been alone for 20 years? Why are we oversecured? Wherever it is you are with boundaries, it's usually much more dialectical, much more complex. Boundaries here, boundaries there. But the point is you're starting to get an introduction now on Sunday as to what the next 3 years and the next month are about. One thing of note, Venus is at 0 degrees on Sunday, our ability to give and receive. So unfortunately, after being kind of slapped with Uranus the day before, it's going to be hard actually to get any nurturing from the world. On Sunday, you have to really self-nurture because everything else is offline. Venus moving into Libra does mean that all the relationship work you did in the last 30 days and 3 years begins to immediately manifest in your reality here in the next couple of days as Venus moves into relationships. So the good news is, while you're doing hard work with boundaries, you will or should get paid in relationships. All right, my heroes, that's all I have for the 7-day forecast. Be sure to come on down to all the office hours we have. And if you want to put your Lilith down on the catwalk and win some videos and some other cool things, come on down. It's going to be a fun inner child contest and learn about that, learn more. And that's all I have to say. I'll see you in 7 more. Until then, live, love, be.
Having a hard time with love lasting long enough? How often is your first date your last date? Have you noticed that your relationships last no more than 2 days? They say love never lasts, but in your case, it doesn't even start. Your birthday is a secret soul security number. We know everything about you, how you love, how you lust, and how you like to be lusted by. In one video, you'll understand what you're looking for in love and what you offer. Secrets of Birthdays, now available at secretsofbirthdays.com.